Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 72. My name is Rico. I'm here with my co-host,
Dayne, Cody.
We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, gadget, gear, toys,
Stuff.
guns, illegal activities. Oh wait, no we don't.
Have we ever talked about that?
I maybe told some of my stories when I was a ute.
A ute?
Getting into the troubles. I can't remember.
Probably.
I tend to ramble and tell stories all the time.
You're getting old, obviously. You must be like a dad or some shit.
Hopefully I don't tell those stories that are incriminating on recording devices that could be used against me. I don't think so. I think I'm smarter than that. Anyway, mainly video games, and a little bit of whatever the hell we like. Usually we open the show with what you've been playing. Me and Dane run down what we're wasting all our God-given time on.
Yeah.
Get into some news, and then free-for-all section, and sometimes questions when our listeners decide they want to ask us those pressing issues, and we aren't lazy asking for them in a timely fashion.
Yeah.
And sometimes we open with our designated drinking section, the DD section.
Oh, yes.
To go with our anonymous naming whatever convention. We are also addicted to the drank. Well, Dane is for sure.
Hey. Yes.
Nothing wrong with that. What are you drinking, Dane?
Drinking some Maker's Mark bourbon tonight.
Is that what you were drinking last week, or no?
Nope.
Something different?
Last week I was drinking Yukon Jack. But you didn't ask.
Did I not? I forgot.
Oh, I know.
What a bastard.
But yeah, last week I was drinking Yukon Jack with a little lime. This week, it's really hot in my apartment. So I have a rock in my bourbon tonight, which is a little bit unusual for me, but,
Is it clean rock?
Yeah. It's clean rock. Made of ice, yo.
I get it. Do you have a cool ice freaking maker thing? Is it a big ball, or is it just a normal,
It's a big ball.
Ice cube?
I got proper whiskey rocks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my wife's
Nice.
cool. So, yeah.
Those are cool.
They're awesome, man. I like it. I like it a lot. It's great. So, yeah, that's what I'm drinking tonight.
Because they also have almost a controlled melt to them.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point, right? Is they melt slower, so you don't get it as watered down. So, yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I am drinking, rolling down the street, smoking endo. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. But I am sipping on gin and juice.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, a little concoction. I have so much gin in the cupboard.
Oh, you say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. I have a giant 2.6. I don't know what you call that for our American friends.
What kind of gin is it?
Bombay Sapphire.
Okay.
I like it. Fuck you.
We're a Hendrix household.
What's this juice? What juice is this? This is an apple peach. This is some random shit my wife had in the fridge.
So you just poured some gin into it?
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Nice.
They made a good mix.
Oh man. So at work, we get these energy drinks, cause where we get our work drinks is from a local company, and they make all kinds of awesome drinks. They're yeah. Anyways, I'll spare you all the details, but, they sell this energy drink. It's all natural. It's called the yerba mate. And
I've never heard of that.
yeah.
Yerba mate.
Yerba mate. And they come in a couple different kinds. There's a couple of them that are lightly carbonated, and they come in a small can, about the size of a Red Bull. And then there's a couple other ones that they make that are bigger, and they're not carbonated. They're more almost like an iced tea, but with made from yerba, made from mate, which is the sort of a plant down in South America or whatever. Anyways, there's a couple different flavors, but I brought one home the other day, and it's the yerba mate with a hint of mint to it. My wife added tequila to it, and it was so good. So good. Doesn't sound like it would be good.
Mm-hmm.
But we like mixed it up and went down to the pool, and it was like gone before we got to the pool. And
It's got a cool name. Man, I wish I had a pool at my place.
oh, dude, pools are awesome. Having a
shittier
pool
place just to have a pool.
Having a pool has been killer. Everybody that we talked to when we were
no
like going to
doubt.
move in, they're like, "Oh, don't worry about the like amenities that you get. Like you never use it. We've used the pool so much, like almost every day
Especially
on the
in this heat.
weekend. Oh yeah, it's been awesome. Love the pool. It's been great." So
I remember I was such a nerd one year when we went to Vegas, and I was playing 3DS at the pool, and I didn't give a fuck.
wasn't that like last year?
No, I didn't have my 3DS. Well, I did, but I didn't take it to the pool that year. I was in the water the whole time. But I just remember one year I was playing something, and I'm like just chilling, drinking, playing 3DS. Grown man, all these people around partying and getting drunk, and just like, whatever.
You were probably playing Pokemon something or other too.
I don't know what it was. I wish I could remember. I'm telling you, this memory thing.
So yeah.
I wish I had a pool. Like it's starting to cool down a tiny bit, I think, this weekend, but anyway.
Yeah, man, it was great. Like last weekend, we were in it all like for a few hours on Saturday. Oh, so good. So nice.
We went to the beach, which was nice. And we were going to do that again this week, but
yeah,
we got a birthday party this weekend, so.
Fair enough.
So
Rick,
what
have you been playing?
Surprisingly, I played a few new things this week.
Ooh.
I really didn't think I was going to play shit.
I was in a similar boat. My mother-in-law was in town last weekend.
Yeah, I saw your tweet.
And
She's probably not on Twitter.
She's not.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm like, she probably not be too happy if she saw that.
That's funny. So I did not think that I was going to get to play pretty much anything because we don't have we have an extra room, but it's more or less like the office right now, and it's kind of a mess, and it's not set up for somebody to sleep in. How's that? So
Castle Cody.
So she's
You didn't put her up in the East Wing.
She was crashing on the couch. But of course, normally on the weekend, I get up, make coffee, kind of do my thing.
Launch vid.
Spend a few hours playing video games before my wife wakes up. So seeing as her mom was here, I didn't really want to get up and wake her up and make coffee, and yeah. So anyways, so I didn't think I was going to get to play so many vids, but I actually got a few chances to really sit down and enjoy some video games. So, which was weird, but it worked out. So I don't know about you, but I checked out the Titanfall 2 multiplayer pre-alpha test this weekend.
As did I.
What'd you play it on?
PS4, of course.
So did I. And what'd you think?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Well, I love Titanfall 1.
Same.
So we'll just get that out of the way. Yeah, we played lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this alpha is a little sliced. They obviously don't have all the modes. They have certain modes. They have this new mode, what is it called? Bounty Hunt?
Yep.
And then they have your hardpoint capture. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, that's sort of
and
your
then
classic.
Just pilot on pilot. Yeah.
So two of them came from original Titanfall. So pilot only, where there's no Titans. Just pilots running around capping. Kind of like Team Deathmatch, more or less. Yeah. And then obviously the hardpoint capture is you capture the points and you hold them, and then it was amped hardpoint capture. Anyways, so in this mode, if there was 3 points because there was only the 2 maps. So in this one, you would hold. There was 3 points, one kind of closer to each of the other team's base, and then kind of one more towards the middle. And this being the amped capture, once you had actually captured it, if you held it for a while longer, the bar would fill up around the outside, and then you would be essentially amped. And if it was amped, it would gain points twice as fast as if it wasn't amped.
I didn't actually play that mode. I only played the bounty hunt mode.
Oh, interesting. So in the amped mode, it was kind of cool because if you held 1, but it was amped, you were gaining points almost as fast as the other team holding 2 points that were not amped. So it kind of gave an interesting dynamic to things where, you know, if you were getting creamed, you could still kind of hold on to 1 point and keep it amped, and you could actually do pretty well. So it was kind of an interesting mode. I didn't mind it. I did try the bounty hunt mode. I did not play any pilot on pilot.
No.
Because
there's nothing there to see that you won't see in the other modes.
For me, I won't lie. I played the original Titanfall on PC. I played the beta in PC. I played the alpha on PC. I never played it on anything except PC, except for one time at PAX before I played it at all.
When
I played it on Xbox One, and it was actually on a PC with an Xbox One controller. So technically I never actually played it on a console before. Playing this alpha really, really made me realize how much I wished I had a mouse and keyboard, though.
It's pretty rough.
Wow.
It's a big transition, but I find everyone else is worse, so I'm not that bad. But I just swear, because when you do play against someone that is very good with the controller, I was like, God damn it, you wouldn't have got me if I had my fucking keyboard and mouse.
Well, then that I won't lie, kind of took a little bit of the joy away for me, because there was so many times where me being like shitty with a controller totally cost me so many times. And I don't know, just the screaming at my TV going like, man, if I had a mouse and keyboard, that shit would not have happened. Happened a lot more than I care to admit. So it was actually a little bit difficult for me to compare sort of Titanfall with Titanfall 2 because of that difference, actually.
That was really affecting your whole experience.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, because I played tons of Destiny. I'm used to the controller for FPS shooters, but yeah, I definitely love my keyboard and mouse. I was surprised at how good it looked on the PS4. It was clearly 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked great. It played so smooth. If anything, it made Destiny feel broken. I'm like, wow. I'm like, oh. I haven't heard anyone mention, I don't think Rise Iron is going to 60 frames a second. I'm assuming we probably won't see that, if we're lucky, until Destiny 2. But man, they really should up the frame rate on Destiny. It makes such a big difference.
I've said it before, man. If they ever release Destiny on PC, I'd buy it again.
Yeah, if you could transfer your characters over, I probably would make this change as well. But yeah, they added the grappling hook, which is kind of cool. I really like that as a pilot. Gives you another little movement option. I felt like the running on buildings might have been a little stickier. There's been like a lot of slight changes.
Yeah.
I haven't played Titanfall recent enough to like totally notice everything. I did notice that I feel like freaking Titans are useless. And there's a lot actually after this beta or alpha, there's a lot of complaints on the internet. A lot of people are complaining about how weak they felt the Titans were, or how slow they felt that the movement was really slow. I didn't really feel like it was that slow. I don't know. Maybe they dialed it back a little bit.
That's interesting. I didn't really feel that like the Titans were useless. One thing, obviously, that I was missing, one of the perks on the original game is that when somebody's rodeoing your ass, you kind of have you had a sort of an anti-rodeo function on some of your Titans, and I don't know if they're planning on bringing that back or not. But that was the only thing that I really disliked here, is that like somebody would jump on my Titan and I was just like, okay, well now either I jump out and I'm going to die because he's sitting on my Titan, or I just hold out and wait for that to inevitably happen. What I didn't realize though till I actually rodeoed somebody was that unlike the first game where you would jump on a Titan, rip off the point and just start shooting your gun and trying to destroy the Titan, in this you actually jump on the Titan, rip off the panel, pull out the battery, and then jump off. That's it. So you actually have to rodeo a Titan twice to actually sort of destroy it. Sometimes more, because like once the battery's removed, so if somebody else rodeos that same Titan and the battery's already been pulled out, then you throw a grenade in, which does much larger damage and pretty much takes out the Titan.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like, depending on the gun you had in your hand, you were doing damage to the Titan, like, but you were actually rodeoing it. So that was kind of one change that I'm not sure I think was a good one, maybe.
I never rodeoed a Titan, so I heard about how they changed it, but I never witnessed it for myself.
Psh, rodeo some Titans, man. Come on.
Man, I was in a Titan punching fools, stepping on fools, and blasting fools. But I just felt like shooting other Titans. I just felt so useless.
Interesting. Yeah, I did.
It might have just been the Titan that I was using. I didn't play with the Scorch one. I was playing with the other one.
Ion? Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
The chest beam is really cool.
Yeah.
That would frickin' saw the other Titans in half.
So the Ion Titan has sort of a secondary weapon that once your core is charged up enough, you have like a special attack. And it sends this massive...
Overdrive? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. It sends this massive beam of like... It's like this huge laser that shoots out of your chest that does...
It's like Iron Man style?
Huge damage. Yeah, it's pretty badass. The other thing that I thought was weird was that you can use the grappling hook, but it was like a... what do they call it? It was like a perk, I guess? Which was... You could assign it as a perk, but I never really figured out why you wouldn't assign it as a perk. Like there was other...
Yeah, there was different ones you could have if you didn't want the grappling hook.
But you could get rid of the grappling hook so that you could have, you know, like this...
The scan.
This like knife that you would throw and it would like scan the area for like bad guys or whatever.
Yeah, almost like Hanzo's scanning arrow in Overwatch.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah, because before the scan in Titanfall was just a pulse that would emit from you.
Yeah.
And then you'd see everything in a certain area around you. Whereas this one, you throw that knife, and then the pulse emanates from that knife.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat, because then you can like scan a building you're running towards.
But the thing is that you're giving up your grappling hook for that.
Yeah.
Is the thing, like, and the grappling hook, man, like if you're using it, it's so easy to rodeo Titans and stuff with it, because you just grappling hook onto the Titan, and there you go. So like it improves movement so much that, like, losing it, I don't know if those other perks that they offer, you know, and again, like, this is like pre-alpha, alpha kind of thing, like, so there's we don't know how many perks there's going to be. There could be more, there could be a bunch more, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they just want you to get a look at some of the new ones.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like the same game, because it did feel very different.
Yeah, and another one of the perks was a holographic doppelganger that essentially allowed you to have like a copy of yourself, so that people would almost like, you know,
trick a sniper, draw someone out.
Yeah, exactly. Which again, I don't know if it would be worth. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it all depends on your build at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked the grappling hook, and like I said, I was really impressed with how it looked. I didn't really feel a lot of the negatives, but then again, those are probably the really hardcore people that have played it very recently or are still fresh in their minds.
Yeah.
So we could leave it to them to leave feedback, and apparently they're listening. Respawn's like, okay, sweet, we heard your stuff, we're gonna change this stuff, and apparently they're already changing stuff for the next beta this coming weekend. So
yeah, I've heard that. One of the things I noticed right away, the first time I played it on, was it Saturday morning? I played it for a bit, and like my first match, I never even got a Titanfall. Like it was just super slow, and then they actually made a change, and they said like, yeah, we're changing the like time it takes to get a Titan because we feel that it's too long, etc., etc. And then it actually got a lot better after that.
And it obviously goes up if you're fucking wrecking fools.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But that bounty hunt mode that we didn't talk about for those listening is basically the two teams are racing to eliminate NPC spawns that appear on the map. And you can kill each other, of course, but that's not the main objective. It's to kill the wave, the NPCs that spawn during the wave, which gives you money that in between rounds you bank. And then if you die, you lose I think you just lose a portion of it. I don't think you lose it all.
Yeah, you lose a portion of it. But like, then, you also have to get to the bank to deposit the money that you've got in between the rounds. Otherwise, you got to try and stay alive till the next round, or you could lose it. So it's kind of like this risk reward, right? Do you try and run back to the bank? And I know a few of the maps that I played, a couple of the enemy kind of got privy, so they were rocking up on the bank spawns with Titans, and they were like waiting for people, hoping that they're going to try and like
douchebags,
you know. So then it was a matter of like, okay, do I try and do this, or do I try and hit the other one? Because there's usually like more than one sort of deposit point that you could deposit.
Yeah, there's like 2 on the map. Yeah, I caught so many guys that were just like on the other team putting their money in the bank, and I'm just like, you're dead. Thank you very much. That's some more money for me. Now I'll deposit my money.
Yeah, exactly. So
it was all right. I don't understand all the backlash. Like, people are all like saying so much for complaining, but hey, that's the internet.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see more. I'm not soured on it. I really love Titanfall. I understand how they wanted us to see different stuff, right?
Yeah.
And of course, it's just the tip of the iceberg, right?
For me, this just made me want to play Titanfall so bad with a mouse and keyboard again.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate it's not on PC.
I understand why, but it definitely...
It's kind of lame, but yeah, they did talk about it, so...
At least they were open about why.
Besides that, I also played some Deus EX Mankind Divided. Disclaimer, a copy was provided to me from the wonderful people at it's IDOS, right? Squaresoft published, IDOS developed. Is that what it is?
Is IDOS still even around?
Am I making shit up?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I know IDOS was a big studio at one point, but I thought that they had kind of went tits up, but...
I don't think I'm making stuff up.
I know it is published by Square Enix, so...
Okay. Well, Squaresoft.
There you
Square Enix. Yeah, they're not Squaresoft anymore. That's old school, too.
Yeah, man. Come on, get with the program. Jeez.
Yeah. No, yeah. IDOS Montreal. Yeah, idiot.
There you go.
5 years to the day after the release of Human Revolution. I did not know that. I never played Human Revolution. I think I own it on 2 or 3 systems. I've gotten it, I believe, through PlayStation Plus, and I swear through Games with Gold. It's just in my pile of shame. People had decent things to say about it, but I just never got to it.
I tried. I did try to do that whole thing. On this podcast, I think I've talked about it earlier on our podcast.
I did, but I can't remember.
I dropped about 7 hours in, and it just...
Yeah, didn't you get stuck or something broke?
It was a weird, it was a weird thing where, it just didn't really work out very well, like what I was trying to do, and it was like the whole situation of being able to sort of do anything the way you want to do it.
And then you got screwed.
But yeah, you put in all this time, and then you find out like, okay, well now I'm stuck in a spot where I'm respawning, and I keep but the alarms are still going, and the guys are rushing in to kick my ass, and
PC autosave issues. Yay!
Yeah, it was kind of a weird thing, so.
I had meant to get to it, and I never did. So anyway, I started this game. It opens up with a recap of the old game.
Interesting. Right, because this is the first one with like the same character, right?
Mm-hmm. Adam Jensen. And they have like a huge recap video. I don't even know how long it is. It's got to be like 15, 20 minutes long.
Oh, wow. They go all in, eh?
Yeah, it's like basically, I think it's like all the cutscenes from the first game and the whole story. And
oh, wow. Well, that's cool.
I
don't need to play the first one anymore.
No, it's
awesome.
Really cool, except for the fact that when your baby starts crying and you want to pause it,
you can't.
You can't. You can only skip it.
Oh, I was just going to say, I thought maybe when you tried to pause it, it skipped.
No, just pause does nothing. It just gives you a skip option. And I'm like, damn it. So that's annoying. So I'm going to have to watch that again. But you can watch it again in the options menu in your own time.
Fair enough.
I'm only a couple hours in. I'm in the first area, which is acting like a tutorial, explaining the cover-based system and the stealth mechanics, and
Right.
using some of the skills that you've got, your augments, because you were a highly augmented covert assassin, I guess you would say.
Yeah, more or less.
I got very like Metal Gear sci-fi vibes from this game. Like it's super serious, like up its own ass with like the story.
You're kind of not wrong, to be fair. Like, like playing like the first one, Human Revolution or whatever it was called. I also got sort of similar vibes to that, so I could see where you might pick up a bit of that.
Yeah, it's like, this guy had this thing and they did this and it's like very, very serious, right?
Oh yeah.
Like up its own ass with its world. Not a bad thing, you know, like at least the voice acting's decent. There was the opening scene you're getting dropped in. There's been like some deal that's going down and you're tracking this dude down. And there's this augmented group that's got the place on lockdown and you're trying to go in to disable a elevator shaft so that the other main team, which is not augmented, they're just regular soldiers.
Right.
So they can get in, and the general or the commander, whoever in the helicopter plane or whatever the hell is dropping in, he was pretty stupid. Like, he was just, I don't know if it was just bad pacing in his dialogue. It just seemed kind of weird. Like,
right.
But whatever. You get dropped in. Game looks great. It's a first person shooter, hybrid third person cover game
thing.
Yeah, because you go into cover and then it swings out in a third person.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
Kind of got the run and snap to cover, kind of like a Gears of War.
Right.
And then it goes to first person when you come out of cover. But it has like the kind of mechanic like in the Division, where you can focus on the cover in front of you, and it draws a line as to your line of movement.
Right.
When you run to the next cover, so you can kind of plan your movements, and you don't just snap to the immediate cover. You can go farther and choose where you're going to come out of cover. Even you don't even have to go cover to cover. You can go to cover into the open and just go into shooting or like stealthing a guy, right?
Right. Okay.
Which
I like
is really
that.
neat.
That's cool. Man.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. You've got, I don't have all the powers, but some of the powers you start with, you've got the silent step, which basically, obviously, I think he's got like robot legs. So basically you can stealth around without making a sound.
Nice.
You've got your vision, so you can see through walls, you can see structural weaknesses, hazards, enemies, you can tag enemies.
Right.
Almost like eagle vision in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't played very much, but I don't know. I'm liking it. I haven't played a game like this in a while.
Fair enough.
Like a story-driven shooter, but
allows you to kind of do it however you want.
Yeah, you can go stealth or you can go guns blazing. It's got leveling up systems. There's obviously different unlocks that I'm sure you're going to earn as you go along. I'm super early, so I don't know all the systems.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if it's just timing and that I haven't played something like this in a while, that I'm liking it more than I should.
Okay.
But it seems like a really well-constructed game. I'm definitely going to give it my time. I am liking what I've played so far. Then I'm doing a little mix of stealth and action. You can knock the guys out, or you can kill them. I choose to kill them all. I think there's a trophy or achievement for like,
not killing them,
for not killing
probably
anyone.
killing everybody.
I'm like, I don't give a shit. These guys are terrorists. They're going down. It's a little weird when you knock out the characters or you kill them, assassinate them. It like goes into like a full pre-rendered like a cutscene almost.
Oh, like
it's not just a simple you stab him in the back.
Right.
It's dependent on the environment, which way the guy's facing, how he's walking, what's around you. Like the assassinations are totally different.
Interesting. Okay.
They're really well animated, so I see why they want to highlight them. It does do a little fade to black, which is a little weird.
Huh.
It doesn't really bother me, but I've heard other people complain that bothered them. The kills are really cool. And the takedowns are neat too. Because he'll grab a guy and smash his head on a box that's right next to you and then throw him behind the cover that you're behind. And it's aware of the environment.
Right. So it's not,
it's not just a canned animation that's the same and the guy falls flat right in front of you. It's like you bash him into the wall or in the environment. And like it was a box, he cracked the guy's head on it low. It was a wall, standing wall. It just, smashed his face into the wall, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So that was neat. The attention to detail there is kind of cool.
I really like that when they do that because it makes it feel like the game is so much more alive.
Yeah, it's more like a real world. It's not just a button prompt to get a cutscene. It is a cutscene, but at least it's taken a little extra time and attention. I'm a couple hours in. It was given to me. The old game got good but decisive feedback. Apparently boss battles were really bad in the first game. Apparently there's no boss battles in this game. Yeah, I've heard that like a lot of the sort of the issues as far as especially the big stuff, like where the fact that if you wanted to go all stealth in the first game, then you'd hit a boss. Apparently it was punishing if you went all stealth too. You didn't get as much experience. Yeah, well, ultimately the big problem is like I went all, you go all stealth build and then you hit a boss and it's like, oh shit, well now what? My build is not built for this at all. Like now I'm trying to go like toe to toe with this boss and, it doesn't really work, right? So apparently like this game is a lot better about that and it's allowing, you to really play how you want. It doesn't punish you in the same way, at least from what I understand. Again, I haven't played it personally, but the tutorials are kind of neat that they've like stitched into the game. Mm-hmm. It like basically takes you out of the game and you're in the exact same environment as the next part of the game you're going to progress through. Right. But it basically lets you practice unpunished to get used to the different mechanics, like the cover mechanic and the stealth and the takedowns and so forth. Oh, nice. And you could like hit the two bumpers and reset the whole thing and try again if you to try something different. You can grab stuff in the environment, throw them for distractions. It's a pretty good looking game. Right on. I heard the Xbox One version is the worst looking version. I think it looks good. Oh, right, because that's the one you're playing, right? Yeah, I'm playing on Xbox One. Okay, cool. It's nice. Gives me a reason to play the Xbox One. Seems cool so far. Definitely, from what I can tell, it seems like a pretty good game. Oh, the Xbox One. I will have back. A story about the Xbox One. I'll be back with more feedback on that. So far, I got a positive vibe to it. I'm enjoying it. Cool, man. Cool. I'm happy to hear. Like I said, like it sounds like they went back to the drawing board in a good way and thought long and hard about sort of some of the issues. I think it's not a bad time, too. There's like no shooters right now. Yeah, it's a little bit true. Of a lull for a couple weeks. Like the new Destiny and stuff comes out. Destiny's like the middle of September, so I think they just got some time to soak up the limelight right now, being the only major big story-based single-player shooter out there. To be honest, it kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even realize it was so soon, and then yeah, honestly, I didn't either. I thought it was October for some reason or November. Yeah, exactly. I think they're just going like, you know what? Let's go now, and then we can. No one's around, and we get the benefit of that, and then we're available for the Christmas season. Just ride out the busiest quarter of the year. Yeah, fair enough. Plus, if it's great, people are going to, there's still going to be a bunch of people that aren't going to buy it now and going to ask for it at Christmas time or whatever too, right? Mm-hmm. So, and the weather's getting cooler in a lot of places, so people are probably like, I need a game to play. Yeah. And then they go hit up their Walmart or GameStop and they probably see the Deus EX signs everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I did not play any Deus EX. Were you going to tell us your Xbox story or no? Oh, my Xbox story. Is that a recent story? Like, did this just happen? Or? Oh, yeah, on the weekend. Saturday, in fact, to be honest. So, little bit of a story here. I've got cable television. Oh, yeah. Through my provider. And ever since I set everything up, whenever I try to record a program on my cable box, it shits the bed.
And I've tried everything. I mean, I work in IT. I have tried so many things to try and figure out why this keeps happening. I've tried different I've tried resetting boxes. I've tried all kinds of stuff. Anyways, so finally enough was enough. I called. They sent somebody out. He came out on Saturday, and between the two of us, we went to work troubleshooting what the hell is going on and why this keeps happening, because we came to the realization that the box seems to be fine, but we couldn't figure out why this happens. Make a long story short, turns out that the Xbox One is the problem. When it goes into its low power mode, so if you leave it with it enabled to update in the background.
Yeah, the instant on.
And then you leave the instant on. Once, like that, because this was the funny thing. If the Xbox was turned on and working normally, my cable box worked totally fine. The shows would record perfectly. Everything seemed fine. But as soon as it went to sleep and it went into that like ultra low power mode, but it was still talking to whatever the hell it talks to, completely effed my cable box up. Don't really know why. All I know is that I had to turn off.
I know why.
I had to turn off the instant power on.
I thought.
And that fixed it.
Turn it off, you mean?
Yeah, when I turned off the instant power. So now it's when I turn off my Xbox One, it goes into like energy saving mode, which essentially actually shuts it off. It no longer happens, and I can record. And
I didn't even think that was an issue anymore.
Oh, it's an issue.
That's funny. I haven't heard of that in a while here, because that used to be an issue with Xbox 360. This is going like deep dive technical.
Yeah.
Basically, on IPTV platforms, they have QoS.
Yep.
That separate the TV packets from your internet packets on your router. And for whatever reason, it was an issue on 360. I thought it was fixed with Xbox One. Clearly, it's not.
That's the weird thing. My PlayStation 4, totally fine.
Problem. Yeah,
not an issue whatsoever.
Yeah, rest mode on the PlayStation doesn't affect it at all.
Nope.
Basically, I guess, I don't know if it's pinging or what it's doing back home, breaks the QoS for the IPTV, and then the packets just go all the freaking hell, and then it screws up the TV service.
Yeah, and that's exactly what was happening.
Yeah. I honestly thought that was fixed. That's hilarious.
So luckily for me, the guy had never really seen that before. But he said the only reason that we ended up sort of figuring it out was because he had a similar issue with a different device at his home, where it was like his was very similar. It was a little different.
And that's because your Xbox is on the same switch as your PVR, right?
It is, yes.
That's what it is.
It's because
on one Ethernet, they didn't have their own home runs to the modem.
Yeah, it runs from the modem into the wall, out, which goes then into a switch
at your entertainment center with all your shit, right?
Yep, and then everything plugs into that switch.
Yeah. I think if the Xbox was a home run to the modem and there was no switch, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Because that's how it is in my setup.
Yeah.
I have home runs for everything.
Right.
To the modem. So.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. I did not expect that to be an issue.
That's hilarious.
So.
I wish I'd thought about that, because I could have just saved you a lot of headache and told you that. But yeah. I haven't seen that in over a year, so I figured it wasn't an issue anymore.
Oh yeah, it's still an issue. So yeah,
it goes to show you how little Xbox Ones I've run into out in the
and
wild.
That's the funny thing, because that's what I told this guy. I was like, dude, like, how on earth is this? Like, how did they not think like that this was a problem? He's like, to be honest, he's like, nobody has a setup like yours. He's like, everybody either goes Wi-Fi and it's, different.
So
he's
it's
like,
not an issue. Yeah.
He's like, the amount of like homes that I go to that actually have like wired up like you, he's like, maybe 3 or 4 like a year. You know,
most people are everything wireless.
Yeah.
That's, man, Wi-Fi saturation is the bane of my existence.
Oh, absolutely. Hence everything in my house is wired except for like my laptops and my like my handhelds.
Obviously, I think most people know that I'm a technician for a telecommunications company that shall name unnamed. That's one of our biggest troubles is Wi-Fi.
Oh, dude,
I've got slow internet. My Wi-Fi sucks. Well, I'm getting 100 megs hardwired to the modem. Yeah, but I don't get it on my Wi-Fi. It's like, yeah, well, for one, you need to be on 5 gigahertz to get higher transfer speeds on Wi-Fi. 2, you live in an apartment downtown and there's 200 routers on the same channel.
Yep.
Good luck seeing those speeds. Like, there's literally nothing you can do.
You can
bounce your channel around. Like, this is the most common thing in the world. Like, you can bounce your channel around and then hopefully you can get a little bit better. But if you live in high density on Wi-Fi, you'll never see your full speeds.
Unless you're like right in front of the modem.
Yeah, unless you're close or hopefully there's not that many. The problem is the idiots who don't know how to configure routers. So I'm going to go on a tangent here. For the 2 gigahertz spectrum, 2.4, which is what most people use. A lot of people don't have dual band modems and or use the 5 gigahertz because they just have no freaking clue.
Yep.
On the 2.4 spectrum, you got channels 1 through 11. Okay, this is like knowledge session with Rico. 1 to 11.
This is like A plus 101.
There's only 3 usable channels. 1, 6, and 11. If you use any other channel, you're cohabitating channels between channels. That is the worst possible thing to do. You don't want to go on channel 3 because there's no routers on channel 3. Because if you use channel 3, you're actually in the same bands as channel 1 and 6.
Yeah,
because that totally degrades your internet big time and affects everyone else around you.
Because each channel bleeds into the other channels.
Yeah. So, like, people think Wi-Fi is like this magic thing. It's just FM. That's all it is. And depending, when you have lots of routers, like the easiest analogy, and this is like I'm not going to say this is I didn't come up with this. This is the guys from MetaGeek who do like a lot of Wi-Fi, devices and troubleshooting and stuff there in the States.
Yeah.
They do a lot of the tools that people use for Wi-Fi troubleshooting. And basically, he puts it as an analogy. Wi-Fi, all your access points, it's like a bar. When they're in the same channel, everyone takes a turn talking. It's very civilized. But then when you have routers in between channels, now they have to yell over each other. So imagine a super packed bar. Well, do you get a clear, strong message from the person across from you if you're trying to have a conversation in a nightclub? Not really.
No.
So that's kind of the closest analogy to how, the more stuff that's around you, it's the worse it performs. It really sucks. Like in some places, your Wi-Fi is just totally useless.
It also doesn't help that a lot of people don't configure their Wi-Fi properly.
No,
so they're also like bleeding way over into stuff because their Wi-Fi is set up for like super ultra power mode.
It's
in like a 600 foot or square foot apartment.
It's amazing.
And, yeah.
That, and also, like, Wi-Fi is like half duplex. It's not full duplex, which is crazy for starters.
Well, some of the newer technologies like AC, are a lot better at.
But like B and G,
oh, it's bad. Like if you have an A, B, even G router,
turn it off.
Just go get an AC router. They are backwards compatible. If you've got things,
just turn that stuff off. That slows down your whole connection.
Oh,
if
it's
are
brutal.
Supporting those older.
You know what sucks though, man? My 3DS is literally the only thing in my house that holds me back.
3DS does N.
Maybe the new one, not the original.
I have to look into that closer because I don't have any problems.
Yeah.
A really cool story, and like, I was at this really remote place, and I wasn't there for Wi-Fi. I was there for something else. And the guy had his modem in the worst location.
Yep.
Far end lopsided install, like not in the middle of his house, like in a far corner.
Right.
Buried behind some stuff on the floor, totally obstructed, surrounded by junk.
Right.
But I have never seen this. This is the first time I've ever seen this. There's no other access points around anywhere. Like none.
Right.
Just his modem. So there was no overlapping channels, no cohabitating channels, no nothing. It was just his router. His signal was
great.
5 bars everywhere in the house and in the yard. Because his modem could just scream at the top of the lungs and didn't have to like stop talking or hold its breath for anyone.
Yep.
It's really amazing to have seen that firsthand, just because that absolutely demonstrates to you how it works, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When there's nothing to compete with in the airspace, it's just like you can just and it was amazing because I was like, oh man, I'm like, oh geez, I'm like, he's gonna complain about his internet in the kitchen. I'm like, I know it, and I go in his kitchen, I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I got 5 bars. Yeah, he's like, our Wi-Fi is awesome. It works all the way in the backyard. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. I'm like, at best, usually it goes 60 feet.
Yeah.
Unobstructed before it really starts to fall off.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. And it's like not even our newest modem. It was like one of our older modems. I was so impressed.
Hey, man, I work for a managed service company, like in IT. And so much of my job is like fighting with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It's brutal.
Oh, like, in businesses,
the amount of people that they'll be at a laptop, there'll be a cord sitting right there beside their laptop, and they'll be complaining about the internet. And I'll be like,
the internet sucks.
For one, why aren't you just plugging in? Well, I don't know, because we have Wi-Fi. I'm like, well, yes, you have Wi-Fi. Your neighbors have Wi-Fi. Your neighbors upstairs have Wi-Fi. Your neighbors downstairs have Wi-Fi. Everyone around you has Wi-Fi.
And your access point is in the communications closet 2 floors down.
Like, oh, well, no, it's hard because like whenever you're the person who's setting up Wi-Fi for anybody, you always run into a coverage versus cost, right?
Oh,
it's absolutely. Like we could blanket your whole site with awesome Wi-Fi and it would be sweet. You'd be getting full speeds everywhere.
You don't want to pay me for it.
Exactly. That shit's expensive. You know, full mesh Meraki's, they're like, you know, 400 or like $1,500 a pop. I mean,
wow.
Yeah.
I had a trouble for a business.
You know,
it was okay. We're totally going off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. We're going to get back on topic again. I had a trouble at a business, 2 stories, and I swear to God, the place was maybe the size of a Costco.
Right.
And they had the oldest, crappiest router in the communications closet in the downstairs far closet. The Wi-Fi has never worked here.
Gee, no kidding.
Man, it's terrible. Like, you're going to fix it, right? They said you were going to fix it. I'm like, I just literally couldn't hold my laughter. I just started laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, to fix this problem is going to probably cost you double digits, thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
There is nothing I can do. Well, they said you have a stronger modem. I'm like, I could have freaking Superman, but if I put him in a kryptonite cell in your basement, it's not going to help anyone.
That's the other thing for anybody out there who doesn't know. The best place to put your Wi-Fi is the higher the better. If you put your Wi-Fi upstairs, it will do a much better job of you'll actually get some sort of coverage downstairs. Whereas if you put it in the basement, you're probably not going to get much, if anything, upstairs, because it just, for whatever reason, gravity works better and it seems to pull down those waves. So you know.
So that was Wi-Fi 101 with Dayne and Rico in the morning.
Go. Exactly.
So don't complain about your Wi-Fi signal anymore.
But dude, it's got the Wi-Fi's, the 3Gs.
I meant to play. Yeah, what you playing? This video game podcast.
Yeah, it's the thing that we're doing.
I meant to play more Transformers Earth Wars, but I'm a jerk and I didn't because I've been playing. I didn't put it in here. I got my 6th badge in Pokemon Alpha Sapphire.
Still playing that, eh?
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I'm just killing it, man, with my freaking Rocker Pikachu, which I think I mentioned last
yeah, you talked about your Rocker
before.
Pikachu, which is
I just took down the 6th gym before we sat down to record. It was the flying gym, and I just got the feather badge or whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember. but I learned the fly ability now, and I can control Pokemon up to level 70.
Ooh.
But because everything was flying in this gym, Pikachu just fucking thunderbolted that shit down.
Nice.
Yeah, he wrecked shop. It was pretty easy.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I learned surf. I got fly now. There's no limits.
Oh,
the world is mine.
Lucky you.
Yeah. And speaking of Pokemon, I think I launched like Pokemon Go once.
We'll talk about that in the news because that's part of the news story. I played a whole bunch of Transformers Earth Wars.
Yeah, that's my homework. That's what I got to do.
Because that is totally something that is on my phone, and I can totally get away with playing that while my mother-in-law was in town. And so I could be there, and I could be talking. And we happened to be in the middle of a massive war against the Decepticons last weekend.
Yeah.
And we were kicking some ass. So it was pretty cool. I don't even know what you'd call it. It was sort of an event, I guess. They have like weekly events in the game. And, so it was more or less, Decepticons versus, Autobots, as I totally have a brain fart. So essentially the more, there was different tiers in this event. And as your alliance won against Decepticon teams, or just, so essentially you would rock up, destroy the Decepticon guy, blow up his base, kick the shit out of him, and then you would gain a bunch of experience as well as I think there were rubies in this one. And once you hit certain amounts of rubies collected for your alliance, you'd get different rewards. So if you got 1,500, so it started off at tier 1, okay, well your alliance needs to collect 1,500, and then you get, some energon, or you get some alloy, or you get something else, kind of an idea, right? And then of course, as you go on up, once you hit a certain point, you would get, a crystal. And crystals are kind of what they use in the game. They're sort of like a dice roll in a way. You use a crystal and you might get a character. So you might get an Autobot in my case, cause I'm an Autobot team. Or you might get you might get something useful in battle. There's other various things that you can get, like an EMP or a health pack that you could use in battle to help repair your Autobots if you're fighting a particularly difficult, rival. So it was cool, man. So we made it, prestige. So each level was sort of a prestige level, as they were calling it. And I think by the time it ended, we did really well. We did really well.
So what do you do with these crystals?
Well, that's the thing is
I'm looking at the game right now.
Yeah, you use them.
It says my space bridge, 1 crystal ready for use.
Yeah, man. So you use that crystal.
It doesn't matter when. I want to use that right now.
Yeah, because essentially, if you use the crystal that you have in your inventory right now, because it says that you have one, right? You have one that respawns essentially once every 8 hours. So you kind of those are sort of your freebies, right? So once every 8 hours, you get a free crystal. Now, when you use that crystal, it essentially allows a new crystal to start. Sort of the countdown timer starts on a new crystal. So if you don't either collect that crystal or whatever, then the new one can't start. The countdown can't start on the new one until that one gets do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I just got a bunch of spark.
Yeah. So you use spark is what you use later on once you get going. Once you hit a certain point, your Autobots, you need to use spark to level up your Autobots. So
So there's 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and premium crystals.
Yeah. So essentially you get Autobots, and Autobots are either 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, or 4 stars.
Is there a limit to how many you can have?
Not that I've come across. I'm currently at I believe 20 Autobots. Or how many Autobots do I have? Let's see. Hold on.
And they just roam around your base, right?
I have 22 Autobots right now. And the thing is like you might get like a level 1. So you might have like a 1-star Silverbolt, but then you might get like a 2-star Silverbolt. So you can essentially, from what I can tell, you can have you'll have multiple Autobots, but they can only be different star levels. So if you get a duplicate single-star Silverbolt or double-star Silverbolt, it will essentially dismantle that into a bunch of resources for you that you can then use to like upgrade your base or anything like that, right? So it's pretty cool. So our alliance, like, we did really well on the last challenge on the weekend. So it was really cool for me because I was able to essentially sit there and like just wreck shop. I was just constantly, I had essentially 2 teams set up, and cause after you've used your characters to fight either another player or fight a story mission, there's like a timer that happens on them. And of course, the higher level you get, the longer the timer is. So like some of my characters would have a timer of like 2.5 to 3 minutes. So it worked out really well because I essentially had set up 2 teams that I could rotate between, so that when one was like, you know, taking their rest period, if you will, I could use the other team to go fight another base and try and kill some Decepticons. Then I would come back, switch to the other team. So it was pretty cool. So I was like constantly going back and forth all weekend, totally destroying. Like I ended up in the top, I think I was number 8 in my alliance. You know, but I'm not nearly like as high level as some of the guys in my alliance. So like some of the rewards and stuff that I'm getting are a little bit lower, but it's fun, man. It was fun. It was, you know, it's easy. It's quick because most of the like little like battles that you're doing are only like, you know, 2.5 minutes or whatever, 2 minutes. There's a little timer on them. But as you level up characters, they hit a certain point. So at level 10, you have to go and research to allow them to level up higher than that. So then at level 10, you need to research to get them to level 20. And then at level 20, you'll have to research to get them past that. And ultimately, that's the difference between the multiple stars, from what I can tell. I can't remember.
So it, like, dictates your level cap?
Yeah. So, like,
Sorry,
if you
I'm
have like
totally far away from the microphone.
If you have a 1-star character,
I'm playing the game as you talk about it.
So if you have a 1-star character, I think they cap out at level 20. But if you have a 2-star character, I think they cap out at level 30. And I'm not sure about the 3-star character. I've only got one of those. I got a 3-star Bumblebee recently, which is pretty cool. So he's almost at level 20 now. And then the other aspect of it too is that you have to upgrade your research facility in order to get past level in order to enable characters to go past level 20. But in order to do that, you have to upgrade your base to level 7, I believe. So I'm at a level 6 base at the moment, and I've actually just been working on getting my defenses all like max level before I move to a level 7 base, just because I don't want to get my base wrecked. So if you successfully defend your base, so if somebody attacks you when you're either there or not there, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. If somebody attacks your base, they get a whole bunch of, you know, resources and things like that from you if they destroy your base. Plus, they also steal a bunch of essentially your medals. So when you attack a rival player, you win some medals from them. And depending on how difficult that player is, changes the amount of medals you get. So if they're a more difficult player, so if you're trying to punch above your weight, if you will, the reward is higher.
Yeah.
But you also might lose.
Do I want to use cyber coins for purchasing crystals, or is that a bad use of cyber coins?
Cyber coins are kind of like, you can use real money to purchase cyber coins. So
okay, so that's where the microtransactions.
So yeah, so that's kind of the microtransactions. You get so many cyber coins for free, like as you level up and as you do things in the game, you get cyber coins. But of course, it starts to kind of peter off. So you got to be kind of careful about how you use cyber coins and what you want to use them
leaving or
for.
removing the little junk spots in your base present any advantages or disadvantages? They don't obstruct attackers, do they?
They do not obstruct attackers, but they obstruct where you can build.
So you may as well get rid of them.
So you kind of want to get rid of them.
Do you want to wall everything in, or?
You know, that's the thing. Like, essentially, when you attack a rival player, if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see where sort of that, like, blue landing area is. It's kind of like in a U shape along the bottom of your base.
It's not blue, but it's like it's where the plane is.
Yeah. Essentially, that area along the bottom is where attackers can drop off at. So, like, you kind of got to think of that as, like, that's where they're going to be coming in. So, like, guys can be dropped in anywhere in that area. So you kind of want to build your base in such a way to build your defenses heavy against that side. And you also want to try and get your...
Do you want your turrets inside or outside of your walls?
I put mine on the inside of my wall. But to be honest, like, I've seen all kinds of different base, like,
because I think in the tutorial it shows you to put your turret outside, or just like close to the landing area. Like, you can't move stuff after you build it, can you?
Oh yeah, you can totally go in and like move everything around. It's great.
How do you move it around?
If you press and hold it, you'll go into like a moving area, and you can move all kinds of stuff around. It's great.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, because like otherwise, like, man, you'd be stuck with some terrible base designs.
This is your Transformer tutorial.
Yeah,
live.
So no, it's great. So the thing is like,
what's the number? I'm a player rank 1.
Yeah, so you're, you know, that would essentially be, as you level up, your player rank will go up, as well as your base rank will go up.
And my battle points are full, or fuel cells are full.
Yeah, you probably have lots of fuel cells right now, like 200, don't you?
245.
You lucky bastard.
So can I battle? Like, should I battle at this point, or am I not prepared?
You're probably not prepared yet.
Would I just be beating up people the same level as me?
So essentially, if you click on the battle button, you'll be able to see, like, you want a max, you probably want a minimum, I think it says...
Attack a rival player, level 3 headquarters required.
Yeah.
Get Optimus, no time to waste. The Decepticons are here. We must find a way to get our leader to Earth.
So you essentially, like...
So is that like a story mode mission?
Yeah, there's like attack a rival player, which is you're attacking rival players.
So I can do this and I'll get Prime on my team.
And then on the other side, there's like a story mission, which is, if you finish the first leg of the story, you'll get Optimus Prime at the end.
Cool. Sunstreaker, Ratchet. Oh, so I could be doing that.
Yeah. So you do that to gain some experience.
90. Where does it say what my power is?
I believe it's in the top right corner. There should be like a power gauge that goes up and down as you select Autobots to be in your team.
Oh, when you're actually launching the mission.
Yeah. So that's kind of how you get an idea, because like as you go along, the story missions will tell you like recommended power of like 350 or something like that. So you'll, level up your guys enough to, get in there and successfully kick some ass.
Okay, so yeah, with the 2 guys I have a recommended 110.
Nice.
Between Jetfire and Ironhide. I imagine those are the 2 guys that everyone starts with.
Yeah, I think those are pretty much
It's pretty cool. I actually have that exact toy of Jetfire.
Nice.
Like the newer Generations version. That's where most of the current lineup is based on the Generation toys.
Right. I've got like a 2-star Jet or Jumpstream, and Optimus is, when you get Optimus, he's a 2-star.
Yeah, it says he's a reward for doing. Man, I'm gonna have to play that. I'm a crazy Transformer guys too, which makes no sense that I haven't started playing that
yet. Yeah, man, get on it. It's fun. So I played a crap load of that.
I'm gonna have to level up and join your guys' crew.
Yeah, man.
Maybe after I get a little more. Maybe
you got to be. I think it's a base level 3 before you can join an alliance. So
yeah, I might wait a little more longer before I do that, but
it's fun. It's
Probably keep us busy at PAX.
Exactly. And then it doesn't help that the leader of our alliance, Mr. Stone there, goes and punches a rival team in the face the other day and starts an alliance war. So I get a tweet like yesterday and he's like, I may or may not have just started another alliance war.
He's like, get in there!
So we destroyed them, so it was all good.
Oh, nice.
But yeah,
so he's picking fights.
He's picking
finish.
fights. Absolutely.
That's really funny. I think he listened to the last podcast because his tweet mentioned the ballet, and I'm like, you had to have listened to the show to know what that means.
He did.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good times.
That's fun. Shit, I gotta play that more and get in on that action.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. It's a quick,
give me a reason to play with my phone again because I ain't playing no goddamn Pokemon Go.
Exactly.
Actually, I bought a Bluetooth controller. I don't know why I did this.
What? Where? Which one did you buy?
From Best Buy. I bought that 8-bit that one that looks like Super Nintendo themed with the two little analog nubs on it.
That's the one I've been trying to find. They don't have it at my local Best Buy though.
Nah, it's online only. $49.
I know.
I had $55 in reward zone, and I'm like, I need to spend this on something.
Damn it! If I would have known you were getting one, I would have got you to order me one and then paid you back at PAX.
Well, you can order one just yourself at your house.
I hate shipping stuff to my house.
Well, I guess it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, exactly. The UPS guys.
Well, you can see it. I haven't even synced it. I just got it, and I'm like, it seems kind of cool. And then I'm like, what am I going to play with it?
See, I want to get one of those for the.
I feel with the Gear Gear
VR. That's why I want one. So,
and I think I'm going to buy the new Gear VR, the newer one.
Yeah.
So I might have a use for it. Whatever. It was essentially free, so.
Oh, there you go.
I think I'm probably going to hold on to it. I was playing with the Note 7 the other day. I'm like, man, that's a sweet phone. It's the exact same phone except for it has a pen. And I probably never use.
It's a bigger screen.
Probably never use the pen, but I'm just like, man, I could use that pen to write notes and stuff, to do stuff for work with it.
That's hilarious.
And I didn't play any No Man's Sky, so
neither did I actually.
I was just playing all this other new stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time I get back there'll be a patch and some new compelling reason to play it. I was really enjoying it, and then the last time I played, I was just grinding money out, and it's like, I don't need to do that right now. I'm gonna play Titanfall 2.
That's kind of what happened to me on Saturday morning. I was like, oh man, I should go play some more. Oh hey, Titanfall 2, right? Yeah. And then I totally didn't even think about No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I guess that's what we've been playing with our Wi-Fi tangent.
Yeah.
And Transformer tutorial guide for you.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to pick your brains more about that. I'm going to play that one as soon as we're done recording.
That's great. It's been fun.
So let's get into the news, my friend.
Boop, 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 boop.
Apparent PS4 Slim leaks online. Now, this was kind of crazy. This happened on Sunday.
Yeah.
I just opened up Twitter like I normally do and saw a bunch of pictures of a new PS4 box and a new PS4, which I was like, nah, this is fake. That thing's ugly. Like, what?
So ugly. I really wanted it to be fake so bad. Because, the PS4 it's a good looking machine. It looks good.
It's one of my favorite looking consoles ever,
yeah.
I'd say.
And this thing?
It's similar. It's the same shape, but it's just
it's like they took all the cool out of it.
It's
and made
more
it bulby and
just flat black. It doesn't have the shine.
It's not sleek looking. I don't know.
I do appreciate the physical buttons for the reset and power or eject and power.
They always seem to do that, eh?
They apparently got rid of the optical out. Sony's been ripping the videos off YouTube as quick as they go up.
Yeah.
I guess this dude got it through an auction site early somehow in the UK and promptly posted photos on Gaff or was tweeting at the kind of funny boys.
Well, and then Eurogamer went over to his house and
they went to his house
it.
And they're like, turn it on, let's see it, let's push the buttons. Like, yep, that shit's real.
And then they made a video of it, which they promptly had to pull down for
I don't understand
lawyers.
how. Okay, this is this thing leaked. Someone's physically got it. They didn't steal it. Someone else broke street date. How can Sony tell you you can't put videos of something you own online?
Because you're not supposed to own it yet.
Really? Is that all
I don't
it is?
know.
What?
Like,
that makes no sense. If I have it,
it's because somebody broke their street date, their
the person
chain
who owns it
at
didn't
some
break
point.
anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird. That's weird to me. I feel like if I can put a video of anything I own in my house, if the iPhone 7 dropped in my house, I'm going to film it and put it online. And how could you have the right to take that video down?
Yeah, I don't know how this stuff works, man.
I know, it's weird. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, it's legit. So now we know, come September, we're going to have some info about the Neo.
Right.
Whether they actually show us the Neo or not, we still don't know.
I sure hope the Neo looks better than that thing.
Most likely that's what they're going to do. But what really intrigues me about this Slim system is I assume all existing PS4s are probably like running out of stock right now. I would assume they're not making that model anymore. Unless they're going to repurpose that shell for the Neo.
You think that's the plan? Like to just stop like building that?
Of course. Like why would you have three systems? You're going to have the lower cost one.
Right.
And then you're going to have the Neo.
That makes sense.
If this system is around 200, 250, oh my God. That's
a pretty significant drop in price though.
That would be amazing.
Cause like,
that would just, like, regardless of the complaints of there being a more powerful PS4 and all the people that are in an uproar about the Neo, this is going to help get this into more homes. This is going to concrete Sony's lead even more. And it doesn't matter if the Scorpio, in my opinion, is like double the power of a Neo. Because we've seen more powerful systems in the past not win. PS3.
Yeah, that
Xbox.
seems to happen on a somewhat frequent basis because they're always more expensive.
The very first Xbox. That leapfrogged PS2.
I mean, the original Xbox kind of came out late, though. They were sort of late to the party by quite a bit.
What is the Scorpio going to be?
Yeah,
late to the party.
I feel like these are a different thing, though.
It is a different thing, yeah.
I feel like
it's weird.
These are essentially, like, that's the thing, is like, this is going to be like the new PS4, and like, that's going to be the new Xbox One, but technically that should really be the PlayStation 5, and that should really be the Xbox 2? Or 180? I don't know. Whatever the hell Microsoft decides to call the stupid thing.
Xbox 2, 3? 4?
Xbox 4? I don't know. Like, their naming scheme has made no sense with it when it comes to Xboxes.
Yeah, it's
the Xbox 720. Maybe they'll use that now. I don't know.
No.
But you know what I mean, right? Like they're a different thing now.
If this thing's not cheaper, then it's just stupid.
I agree with that.
I don't understand the existence of it.
If you drop the current price of the PlayStation 4, which is what in the US it's still $399 if I'm not mistaken. If you drop that to $299, that's $100 off, and then you drop the new Neo in at the original price or even slightly higher, I think you're laughing because, yeah, now you've got a 2-tier system. People can still play all the PlayStation 4 games on, the cheaper one. And people that want to get rid of and they want to buy the new one, they can buy the new one. Like,
it really sucks is that event is after PAX.
I know.
So PAX is not going to have any of this, which really sucks. It's too bad that event wasn't before PAX.
I know.
Because then all these systems would be at PAX.
I was really hoping that event, when I saw like, oh yeah, they're going to do this event, and I was like, oh man, like really? I would have loved to at least like had some hands on with like what the thing's going to look like.
And then the Nintendo event's rumored for September sometime.
I know.
Well, that's cool. Hopefully the price is right, or it's fucking stupid. That's my opinion. If it's the same price, it's just dumb. Because it just looks cheaper and it adds no value. The winning move, like you said, is Neo slides in at the current price, and then that thing is $100 or more less than it has to. I think it would have to be more.
I think you have to do that because otherwise, like if you've got a new higher price console, unless
I guess a Neo could be $50 more, maybe $100 more, because technically the Xbox S is more expensive. That's
but from what I've heard, and obviously it's still too early to tell, But from what I've heard, the Neo is going to be fairly, like, quite a bit more power in it, though, too. So, I mean, you know, that being $100 or $150 more seems like that would make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, this thing better be cheaper.
I agree with that statement. I feel it needs to be as well, but who knows what those dudes over there are doing.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks, that's for sure. PlayStation Plus gets a $10 a year price hike. The internet exploded and everyone was like, damn you, Sony. I'm going to cancel my PlayStation Plus.
If this means that my download speeds go back to where they were when the PlayStation 4 came out, I'm all for it.
I don't know. They just came out and said a bunch of bloobity blop about inflation and cost, and they didn't say that you're getting more or anything. Just the cost of service is going up. And guess what? We're not eating it. You're paying for it.
Yeah.
Whatever, $10. The value of PlayStation Plus, we've said before, is pretty awesome. The games the last little while have been kind of meh, but you're going to get more than $60 value out of it. So,
oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I'm not butthurt about it. I bet you Xbox will slowly or shortly raise their rates for gold. And
gold was always more expensive anyways, right?
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, gold was always more expensive.
This is the first year that I didn't renew my gold. Right. It expired this summer, and I'm just like, I didn't play anything online with anyone. They're all on PS4. So why am I paying for two things? I guess it is only the cost of a game, so at the same time, whether you use the multiplayer stuff or not.
That's where I have gold.
It really pissed me off, though, when you told me that gold used to keep the games. I didn't realize they changed that. That really pissed me off.
Yeah, anything that you got before...
Now I have a hard drive full of shit that I technically can't play.
Well, you have a hard drive full of stuff that if you didn't... all the stuff that you purchased or you downloaded back when you had gold before they made that change is still available to you.
Yeah, but that was a while ago, so...
Yeah, that was
there's a lot of shit on my hard drive that I can't play.
Essentially anything on the PlayStation or the Xbox 360. It was when the Xbox One came out that they made that change, right? So like for me, I've got, you know, Fable 3 and some other stuff that I picked up for free on the Xbox 360. Those are still available to me to download and play. But if you don't have Live and you downloaded Sunset Overdrive for free, because that was a game that was free, you can no longer play it if you no longer have Live.
Poo.
So, but again, like that game in and of itself was worth having Live for the year.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, it's going up. I'm not complaining. It's $10. You spend $10 on stupider things.
Like I said, I really hope that the speeds go up because man, I tried to download the Titanfall 2 beta on the weekend and like I couldn't believe how slow they were like handing it to me.
I didn't really pay attention. Mine didn't take that long, but it's not as fast as Steam, that's for sure. Jesus.
No.
Steam will like...
It should be.
Steam will like buckle my modem over and be like, how much speed do you want? Take it, you friggin' modem.
Yeah, Steam will max me out, which is great. Yeah. Steam would max me out when I had my 100 meg connection, which was even better.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Steam is like...
No,
ridiculous.
It was awesome. It's not ridiculous. It's awesome.
It is awesome. But like, that's, everyone else should be like that. But
yes, exactly. That should be the norm, not the exception.
Like Dota 2 pays for that bandwidth.
Yeah.
I shared a story on our Facebook about, from our friend, Mr. Patrick Klepek, over on his new digs at Vice Gaming. He put up a story, about the nasty backlash against No Man's Sky.
Right.
Obviously, this game is a lot different than what a lot of people expected, and or the hype machine transformed into something different.
Yeah.
Anyway, this user on, I believe it was Reddit,
it always
went back, and he meant to do this as just hey, this is what they talked about, this is what they're aiming at doing or mentioning, and he made a list basically of all the stuff.
Right.
And it turned in, and it wasn't meant to be like, this is what they didn't deliver, screw them. It's like, hey, this is the stuff they talked about, potentially this is stuff that's going to come still.
Right.
So the internet took it and ran with it and was like, look at all this stuff they lied about. Rah, burn them at the stake. Sean Murray's a freaking liar. He manipulated us. And the guy's like, that's not what I meant this to turn into. Shit. And it's just a neat story going into the freaking people's expectations, the disappointment, the hype machine. And it's a neat read. And this poor guy feels so bad about what it was coming from a good place, right?
Right.
And, I don't know. No Man's Sky's in the early days, and I bet you it's going to be like Destiny. It's going to be very different.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that on the show here, and I agree with that sentiment. I mean, it is interesting to me, man, like the amount of people that have either not played it or have just watched other people play it, and the hype that seemed to come along with that game. I mean, yeah, I don't know if there ever was an ability of that thing to be what people thought it was going to be. I don't know. It's a weird thing, I guess.
It's a cool read.
Yeah.
If you care. If you don't care, then
don't worry about it.
Shit. I thought it was neat. The guy's like, hey, make this constructive, criticism feedback list of stuff they kind of mentioned and talked about and isn't there. Yeah. And then the guys are like, this is our testament to crucify them with, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation Now.
We've said it before. I think the internet gets a little worked up about things that maybe,
Yep. PlayStation Now is coming to PC. This has been rumored for a while.
This has been. This is an interesting thing to me. I don't use PlayStation Now.
No, neither
myself.
I have no need for it.
For anybody that doesn't kind of know what PlayStation Now is, it is a subscription streaming service by Sony. Obviously now it was available on like the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3, I believe. You could stream PlayStation 3 games on your PlayStation 4. So you would pay a subscription. There was multiple tiers of the subscription. So you could either pay per game to more or less rent these games and play them, or you could pay monthly, like a flat fee. And you were more or less streaming the games over the internet. It was based on the fact that Sony bought a streaming platform company like a couple years ago. And this is sort of what that turned into.
What was it, Gaikai?
Yeah, they picked up Gaikai. And it's interesting because now this essentially will allow, PC gamers to
play old PlayStation games.
Yeah, like if you wanted, like say you always wanted to play Uncharted, this is this is the way that you can make that happen if you're only a PC gamer.
Yeah, and with this announcement, they announced a DualShock 4 USB wireless adapter, which as of right now with remote play, you can plug in a DualShock 4 into your Mac or Windows PC.
Yep.
This will basically give you a little dongle so you can do it wirelessly for $25.
Yeah.
American, $30 Canadian.
I was a little disappointed to find out that this would not allow you to essentially use your PS4 controller with all your other games if you wanted still.
No, you have to download other software for
like
that.
Third-party drivers. I don't know why Sony doesn't just release proper drivers for this thing.
It's because they don't support what is it, X input or X? What do they call it? It's like the control mechanism that
it's like the API for the
it's the
Xbox
API
controller.
Yeah, and because it's a PlayStation controller, they don't necessarily support it. And Sony doesn't necessarily write a native driver to basically convert their input to the X input.
Right.
The Xbox One controllers use in games on PC automatically pick up.
Right.
So there's ways of doing it. So you can hardwire, of course. And I imagine this dongle you'll still be able to, but there's an extra hoop. This is just basically going to work for, I guess, remote play and the Now.
Yeah.
the Now app, which is coming soon. They haven't said what day that's coming exactly.
Right.
And
speaking of remote play quickly,
Mhm.
that was totally a savior this weekend for me.
Oh, remote play is fucking great.
It was great. My wife and my mother-in-law were like out in our living room. They were doing their thing. I was able to come in my office, bust out remote play, turn the PlayStation 4 on, play some Titanfall 2 multiplayer on my PC, and, you know, it was great.
I said,
so solid.
I've said before, I pick PS4 games a lot over even sometimes PC versions, just because of remote play, either through my Vita, through my MacBook Air, or even through my freaking cell phone. Like, you can plug in a PS4 controller via OTG USB cable.
Yep.
And use your DualShock 4 on your freaking cell phone and do remote play over your cell phone.
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome. And when you do it away from home, it's laggy as hell, and it's not really, good for, trigger sensitive shooting games or action intense games. But when you're in your home, it works perfect. Your PS4 hardwired and you're on your own wireless within your home. Remote play looks great and it runs really well.
Yeah, I was impressed. It ran really well, and obviously, again, all my stuff is wired in here at my house. Yeah. So, but no, it was a blast.
It reminds me this as well. I forgot to mention it with that new PS4 Slim. There's a controller revision
to the
DualShock 4. So it's essentially the same, except for in the touchpad on the front of the DualShock 4, there's a little bar that allows the light from the backside of the controller, the light bar on the top of the controller, to now leak through the touchpad.
So I guess need to look at the front of the controller to see what color you are.
To see if it's on or to see, yeah. So
if you play a lot of Madden now, you'll know if you're player 1 or player 2.
Yeah. I never really looked at it, but
this works out well for me because it's
a small revision.
One of my PlayStation 4 controllers is more or less shot, and I need to replace it. So,
the next game from the makers of Sleeping Dogs, it was announced. Smash and Grab. It's an online multiplayer game. Dystopic take on gang warfare. Steam Early Access in September. We will see this at PAX. Whether we get hands on it, I have no idea. I didn't even have a chance to look at the trailer yet.
I actually haven't watched it myself. Sleeping
Dogs is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't sort of make
a very violent
one, but I imagine it would. Those guys make pretty, pretty violent games.
It's like a multiplayer. It looks like just a riot. There's 20 people just beating and smashing and killing each other in the streets.
I think that was implied in the name, Smash and Grab.
Yeah, it looks neat. I'm sure we will see it and or play it at PAX and be able to report more. I didn't have a chance to read this story, but the headline caught my eye.
It's long and convoluted and interesting.
If you didn't already know, ZeniMax,
the parent studio Bethesda,
has had a lawsuit that they launched against Oculus. Namely, I think, what was it against? Against Palmer Luckey? Was it against him talking about stealing stuff?
It's against Palmer Luckey and John Carmack now.
Yeah, well, yeah, now they apparently directly accuse John Carmack, which, if you don't know who he is, legendary video game creator, probably
co-founder of ID.
Yeah, id Software.
Yeah.
Basically, probably the inventor and or creator of, the first-person shooter.
Arguably one of the greatest video game programmers of our day.
Yeah, and he's a genius, at optimizing engines and just 3D graphics and performance. The guy is, brilliant. Apparently his Twitter is, insane, this kind of stuff he tweets about.
I don't actually follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, neither do I, but I know people who do, and they said he's goes off on little tangents about stuff that, he's just had, eureka moments about stuff. Anyway, he left.
Start following him.
He left Bethesda id to go work at Oculus because I guess he just fell in love with VR when the first time he tried it.
He's a huge reason why VR is on like Gear VR, for example. He felt that the future of VR was actually in mobile.
And anyway, Palmer Luckey was getting accused of stealing a lot of stuff because he used to work on a company that apparently came up with 3D. I don't know all the ins and outs of the whole story. Anyway, this is pretty huge that they're dragging Carmack in and naming him specifically.
They're
of theft of patents and
they're
ideas
full on
and
saying that
technologies.
he like downloaded company files onto like USB sticks, took them home, and never got them back. And
the
like,
legal documents
dirty, man.
Are all online if you want to see. This is probably going to be a couple of years in the making, and interesting to see what happens here, because ZeniMax essentially feels, I think, that Oculus stole their shit out their back pocket.
Well, I mean, because they're claiming that they were working on VR for quite some time, and then Palmer Luckey and everything happened, and now, you know, a lot of the stuff that they were working on is in the Oculus, and then they're the ones sort of holding the bag, going like, wait a minute,
what?
That was all shit we were working on.
Yeah, it's going to be...
I don't know how much truth there is to that. I mean...
Yeah, obviously I have no clue. I just know it's a huge lawsuit, and it's looks even bigger now that John's name's been thrown in there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's an interesting read. I did read it, and I was kind of looking through it, and I went like, oh man, that's messy. So
I really hope I don't freaking come back from PAX wanting to buy a freaking Oculus or Vive.
You know it's going to happen, right?
I know it's going to happen, but I really got to resist the urge. Like, VR is awesome. I want one right now, but I'm going to hold off till Gen 2. I also
you honestly think you're going to be able to wait that long?
I doubt it. I know I'm getting a PSVR, but I got to get one of the PC ones.
Yeah, man.
I might have to get an Oculus, because if it works on Xbox and PC, then I don't know. But the touch isn't available, which is like, that shit should have been available already.
Or you could get an OS VR.
Yeah, not gonna have it.
Save some money, play whatever you want.
Pokemon Go loses its luster, sheds more than 10 million users. Engagement is down, and time spent fading fast. So Ars Technica put up a story talking about how the Pokemon Go bubble may have busted. And I'm going to assume this is due to Niantic's not releasing any goddamn patches or fixing things or implementing new features in a timely fashion.
No, man, they dropped a new patch. It just didn't do anything.
It did fuck all.
Now you can
I don't know. I
see
didn't. Like I said, I'm playing real Pokemon because that's where Pokemon Go left me. It was cool. The novelty was really awesome the first couple weeks.
Right.
It was fun going out, seeing all these people. Now it's just like, I don't care. Also, probably doesn't help that I'm like level 22 and that the experience, the grind is real. Like,
it is so real.
It's off the charts. Like, it's 100,000 experience points till level 23. And it's like, I don't care. Level 23 does nothing for me. There are no new Pokemon in my goddamn neighborhood. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Where's my trading? Where's my fixed battling? Where's my tracking? Like, god damn it.
I'm at the point now where I like pop it open when I'm walking a bit to hatch eggs, and I'll check from time to time. I'll open the app and see if there's anything around me that pops up right away, and if it doesn't, I just close it and walk on with my life.
It's really disappointing because I was having a lot of fun with it, and it's their fault. I think they just focused on wanting to launch it in every single market, get their cash and run. I don't know. They should have focused on features and then opened it up. And then the hype would have stayed strong and high when they brought it to other places. Nope. Now it's just too big for them to implement anything new without probably just sinking the ship.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think the biggest problem is the tracking.
It's available everywhere now. So what's going to happen when they turn tracking on? It's just going to crap right out because it's available to millions and millions and they don't have the server load for it.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know. I will keep it installed for now. So
I'll keep it installed too, but this is a prime example of how not to treat your community and how not to do
transparency, man. Transparency
should have had
king.
More features working from launch, tested, implemented and working, and it was just a rush to...
My question
It's available in Brazil now. It's available in Timbuktu. Like, who gives a shit? Add more stuff to the game.
Yeah, a large part of that had to do with, I think, people wanted it so bad, too, that they were willing to... look at us. We were installing it weeks before it was available, in our area.
I'm just mad. I want things.
I just want them to implement, like, a proper tracking. That was ultimately the only real thing
nice
that I'm
to even see what that tracking function that some people have. Like, that isn't even implemented yet, and that's been, like, 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah. My question is like, they had a beta for a while. Like, what did they get from that? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
No idea.
Yeah.
Xbox Live Games with Gold were announced for September. Earthlock Festival of Magic. No idea what that is. There's a trailer. I'll probably have to watch that. Is there a description for it? No description.
It's a thing.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. That's the 2D Assassin's Creed title, like downloadable title they made. Forza Horizon 1 on 360, which is backwards compatible, and then Mirror's Edge, which is also 360 backwards compatible.
Wasn't Forza Horizon also released on Xbox One?
2.
Oh, was it the second one that was only?
Yeah, the second one was on Xbox One. Because it was Forza 5, Forza Horizon 2, Forza 6.
Right.
And then now they're going back to Horizon 3.
Because initially when I saw this press release, I went like, wait a minute, that's weird that they would release the 360 version and not the Xbox One version.
Yeah.
And then I was, okay. So that makes sense.
I'm watching the trailer to this Earthlock. Oh, it looks like an RPG.
Ooh, I like RPGs.
I don't know. It looks okay, I guess.
It's a free game.
Yeah. Free game that you pay for.
Yeah.
Halo 5 Forge comes to PC September 8th, which we talked about this a month or two ago, or maybe even longer, that this was rumored to be coming to PC. So
it's been rumored for a while.
How long until Halo 5 proper comes to Windows PC? It can't be long, eh?
I don't know.
This is this is the Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine?
First it starts with Forge, and then I'm pretty sure the rest of the game can't be far behind. It'd be cool to see the assets on PC for Halo.
I just love to play with a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody's getting tired of me hearing that on this show, but that's my jam, man. Like, I love the keyboard and the mouse.
Peanut butter jelly time, keyboard mouse time.
For first-person shooters, it just, you cannot beat it. Like,
the Twitch, the reflexes are just so much quicker.
Oh, absolutely.
None of that dead zone acceleration shit to deal with. It's like, my sight goes where I put it, not past the guy, then past the guy again, and past the guy again, as I'm trying to line up his head using the joysticks, which inherently have their own lag and then net code and everything on top of it. It's just like,
it
just feels like,
yeah, exactly that. That was a thing that totally happened.
We're Arnold Schwarzenegger all of a sudden.
Be whoever I want. It's like,
I get to the chopper. I can't shoot.
That's how I felt on the weekend.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm playing, honestly, like, not a lot of the time, because I'm not bad with the controller, but yeah, sometimes you just feel like, what the hell am I doing?
Why am I not playing this on the keyboard and mouse?
It's gotta look into that adapter for the PS4.
I totally want to look at that.
Keep saying that. Like I said, my buddies have it, and they play Destiny, and they do Iron Banner.
Oh, man, that would be killer.
They say it's like freaking playing against, like, kids in a candy store. So when you're playing Destiny...
Kidding.
When you're playing Destiny or any online shooter and you're just playing against this guy that just seems to be way too good, he probably has a keyboard and mouse adapter. It's like, how the fuck did he do that? He jumped around the corner, headshot me in the air while turning. I'm like, I can't even jump and turn with a controller, like, properly. Like, what the hell? Well, that's an exaggeration. Obviously, I can do that, but you know what I mean. You just see guys
put in
do some
keyboard and mouse, and what was the first thing that pops up? How to connect a keyboard and mouse to your PS4.
Whoa. Excuse me. I don't think the microphone picked that up, but it was really loud.
You're disgusting.
Did you just do a search?
I did. It's stupid. Like, get this. So the PS4 actually works.
The Zim 4. That's it.
The PS4 actually works with a keyboard and mouse. The problem is that most games won't work with it, even though all you got to do is plug it in to the USB port.
$250.
Whoa!
That was on Amazon.
Oh.
How do you buy this? What is it? Shop. Let's see. Company store. US worldwide shopping. There's no Canadian link.
Apparently, there's nothing stopping developers from supporting mouse and keyboard.
$124.99 out of stock. Put me on the waiting list. It's currently out of stock. We apologize. Store will reopen no later than September 15th. There's no year, or is that September 2015?
Yeah, the Zim 4 adapter. Interesting.
Oh, well. I'm going to say that is all for the news, my friend.
That's it.
You threw something into our free-for-all section here.
I did.
Someone is a freaking bastard whose work buys them really cool stuff. So why don't you rub our faces in it?
So, I needed a new computer for work. And I jokingly, it was kind of a funny situation, and I sort of jokingly mentioned to my boss that, you know, he could totally buy me a Razer Blade Stealth for work, because that would be awesome. It would be thin and light and powerful and sexy for me to be throwing in my bag and going to site with. And he totally went for it. So I totally got a Razer Blade Stealth for work, and it's sexy and beautiful and light and thin, and it's great. 8 gigs of RAM, you know, i7. It's thin. It's very light. The screen is beautiful. It's got the quad. I went with the Quad HD, and the you can get them with the Quad HD screen, which is 2560 by 1440, or you can get them with a 4K screen. I did not splurge for the 4K screen. I went with the Quad HD and the 256 gig SSD, and I couldn't quite twist his arm into picking up the core to go with it, which is fair enough because that's a lot of money. For those of you who don't know, the core is essentially an external chassis that you can plug video cards into, and they help make your laptop go way faster. It's a pretty cool device. It's very expensive though, and it plugs into the Thunderbolt 3 port that's on the Blade Stealth. So, but otherwise it is essentially designed to be, it's an Ultrabook. It's designed to be very thin, very light, but still powerful so that I can actually get work done. And it's nice, compared to what I had before, which was a great big honkin' Dell that was several years old. It's very nice. I was super impressed with the Blade Stealth because it comes with literally zero bloat on it as far as like programs that come preloaded. There was literally drivers, and that was it. I don't think there was a single piece of software that was, hey, buy this, or hey, try that, or, you know, most of the time when you buy a PC from Dell or HP or any of those companies, it's like it's got so much Dell or HP proprietary like bloatware that's on there. Hey, buy our, you know, use this to download and make sure your computer's up to date, and make sure that you register, and make sure you do this, and here's a trial for that. And this was just pure Windows 10. I was really impressed. It's quick. It's really pretty. I've had it about a week now. And so far, I'm loving it. The touchpad is fantastic. Beautiful trackpad. Keyboard's a little bit shorter press than I anticipated it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's obviously it's a chiclet keyboard, so it's very, it's nice, but it's super short travel, which I don't know why. I thought it would maybe just be a little bit more, but it's one of those things you'll get used to. It does have a touch screen, which is also one of those things that I didn't even realize till after I got it. Yeah, it's a really nice piece of kit. It uses the USB-C / Thunderbolt port for that's for charging everything else. I have a dock on order for work, so I'm going to plug a couple extra monitors into it, and a keyboard and mouse and stuff external, so that when I'm in the office I can plug in and have all that stuff going on. So I haven't played with that stuff yet, so we'll see kind of what kind of fun I run into getting all of that set up. I'm hoping it'll be fairly straightforward, just because it's, a USB-C port, and that's a USB-C dock, so it should be, well, it's actually a Thunderbolt dock, but it should be fairly straightforward, so, but no, everything else has been great. It's super fast and thin and light, and everybody goes, "Ooh, that's pretty." The Mac guy in my office, for the first time in his life, he's got PC envy. So
yeah, it looks like a sweet freaking machine.
It's beautiful. I mean, like I said,
it's just the current version, or
yeah, this is the newest one. They released it not that long ago. Actually, it's only been on the market for like a couple of months now. So they announced it at CES. The big thing, of course, was they announced it with the Razer Core, which is their external sort of graphics chassis.
So you could buy that if you wanted to?
I could, yeah. When you buy the Blade Stealth, they offer you $100 off the Core, but it's a hard swallow in Canada, especially. It's $700 in Canada. Yeah, it's $699. So even with the $100 off, that's still $600. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is essentially a full dock. It's got power, it's got, inputs, it's got,
that's pretty cool though.
Gigabit. Shit. So, if you,
that box looks cool, the Razer Core.
Oh, it's a wicked idea. Like, cause you can drop new video cards into it when they come out.
But then still have your Ultrabook, and
yeah, so you can take your Ultrabook with you, and
nice
it's
looking
such a sweet.
I'm just
thin
looking
light.
at it online.
Yeah, no, it's like I said. I mean, I've been really impressed with it. It's been a really sweet piece of kit. So the keyboard's got like
screen. Did you get the 1440p one or the 4K one?
Yeah, the Quad HD.
Okay, I was gonna say 4K. Ugh.
For me, the having the extra battery life was more important than a 4K screen.
It doesn't make sense on a laptop screen.
And it's only 12 and a half inches. So I mean, it's 4K and 12 and a half inches. Like, really? Do I need that kind of pixel density?
No, it's kind of a waste. You'd rather spend that money on a big.
Yeah. Beautiful screen though. I'm really impressed with like
cool.
the bright screen.
It's
like
cool
it's
looking.
Yeah, no, it's sweet. I was pretty.
My boss to get me one of these.
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
It doesn't have built-in LTE though, does it?
It does not. No. It doesn't like. That's the one thing that's both good and bad with this machine is when you go to buy it, your options are quite limited. You get to choose one of the two screens, and the only other thing that you can choose is the hard drive size. So you can go 128 gig SSD, 256 gig SSD, or 500 gig SSD.
I know you probably said it earlier. It's only one processor for both versions, i7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, there's almost no. You get to choose your screen, and you get to choose your hard drive size.
Yeah,
they're all i7, 8 gigs of RAM.
Oh, but it's an SSD M2. That's pretty sweet. Fuck,
oh, yeah.
That's a cool little laptop.
It's fast, man.
Are you gonna bring it to PAX so I can steal it?
Probably not.
God damn it! Insure it. They'll replace it.
So, no, it's
play
it's
your
cool.
deductible. Good deal. I mean, we're not committing insurance fraud live on the show, are we?
No.
Shh, didn't
So,
happen.
but no,
That's
it's
cool.
a really cool. It's a really cool toy.
Those are nice, man. My
I mean,
boss
it's actually a
won't buy me
workhorse, but yeah, no.
My
So-
boss won't buy me that.
Well, the thing is like a bunch of the guys in my office have Surfaces, like Surface Pros.
Yeah, which are cool, but not this cool.
And the thing is like we've
They
had
got a cool pen.
mitigating levels of success with them. But as I'm an on-site guy and I kind of need to be able to have a keyboard, because if you're standing in front of a server rack and you've got like a computer
Tablet
that you need,
and an external bullshit attachment.
yeah,
and
it's such a
bunch of
hassle.
crap.
Whereas if you can just have a laptop there and you can,
Yeah,
so it
they
makes life a lot easier.
tried testing. When I first started at my job, they tried testing tablets, and then the guy's like, well, I need a keyboard. And then they got like keyboard cases, and it was just a clusterfuck of
Yeah.
dongles and attachments. And then
Well, that's
it's like,
yeah.
oh,
that's
we don't
the
have
other
an
thing.
Ethernet port, so we need a USB adapter with Ethernet. And it's just like, oh my God, it's just ridiculous. And
Yeah.
then the first guy snaps off his freaking, USB Ethernet adapter and ruins the freaking tablet because he just broke a USB end off inside of it. It's just like,
Right. So yeah. To be
Cool.
fair, this actually it's too thin and it actually doesn't have a Ethernet jack built in. So I will actually have to have a dongle for Ethernet, which is whatever. It is what it is.
yeah.
So
Hey, if I had a cool laptop, I can complain about it.
yeah. So
Well,
yes,
wha-
that's my new work toy. So-
While we're talking about that, and I was totally pretending to listen. I'd also discovered. No, I was totally listening. Just kidding. I just went down a rabbit hole when I looked up the Zim thing.
Oh yeah.
I discovered that there's an officially supported keyboard and mouse attachment by Hori in Europe and Japan. Not here. It's $157. It's got like a little breakout mini like WASDA wannabe keyboard section
Right.
and a
I
mouse.
think I've seen this one.
And that one apparently is like officially supported and just works with friggin' everything.
See, the thing that I wonder about that is like, does it work for the things that a keyboard and mouse are supposed to work for? Or does it work for a keyboard and mouse for everything that I want it to? Like, is it going to work in Destiny? Or is it just work in like, Final Fantasy 12? And cause there's actually a few games, Warcry, there's a few games that actually support a keyboard and mouse on the PlayStation 4.
The review here, the guy says the mouse is not perfect. You can use any mouse with it because it has its own USB port.
Right.
But I think with the Zim you're paying for is that emulation of it feeling like a keyboard and mouse from PC. side.
Right.
So it might be a little better than this thing.
I don't know. I gotta look at
And then I was looking in the Overwatch forums, looking at the Zim. Guys are like, keyboard and mouse players with Zim 4 shouldn't be able to play with us. Not only do they have mouse, they also have aim assist because the game doesn't realize they're playing with a keyboard and mouse. And I'm like, I didn't even think about that. So aim assist and mouse and keyboard controls. No wonder they wreck fucking people with this adapter.
Yep.
I totally have to buy one of these.
Yeah, I'm looking at one right now, and it seems pretty awesome.
I wonder if anyone at PAX has these, or maybe we can find one down there.
I don't know, but it looks awesome.
I know my buddy has one, and he, I've been to the Lighthouse, every weekend in, Trials of Osiris and Destiny. I'm like, I hate you. With that, my friend, I'm going to say that's a show. We're running along, and
That's it.
It's getting
That's all
late.
you get.
I probably have a screaming baby upstairs and a wife that's probably waiting to slit my throat as I go up the stairs. No, I don't. She's been awesome. So, you can follow me on Twitter at RickF,
You can hit me up on Twitter at Dayne Cody at DayneCody.
Make sure to follow us on or subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate us on iTunes. Follow Geekoholics on Twitter. Share with your friends. And yeah, of course, the iTunes reviews, help us just get discovered by other listeners out there. And always, thank you for listening and spending your time, your valuable time, free time with us.
Yeah.
And
See
we'll
you
have
next
another
week.
show next week, and then we'll be off to PAX. I don't think PAX will affect our recording at all. Maybe this year we could actually do a PAX recording.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll probably be drunk, so
Although that would be a fun show.
that would be pretty cool. Let's see what happens. Maybe we can do like on the spot interviews with people and stitch together an edition for the show after PAX.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
That might be kind of fun. Editing
Sweet.
nightmare, but
Yeah, pretty much.
I gotta hammer down guests for our show. Speaking of which, we're working on something right now, having one of our first guests.
Which
should
would be
pretty
exciting.
We won't say anything until that gets totally nailed out, but
Absolutely.
until next week, my friends, we are out.
Autobots rule.
Autobots roll out. Peace.